Look at Untucked Shirt. Untucked Shirts made to fall the perfect length. Untucked.com. Code HERD. 20% off. Code HERD. Jason Witten is retiring from the NFL and the Dallas Cowboys. He will now be the number one analyst on Monday Night Football. He is a tight end. He made the right decision. Tight ends do not get offered the primo number one analyst gig at networks. Troy Aikman, a quarterback. John Gruden, star head coach. John Madden, star head coach. Tony Romo, Phil Simms, Dan Fouts. Now, you can say Chris Collinsworth, but Chris Collinsworth was grinding in this business. He was originally a Fox guy 25 years ago. He was not offered a number one job out of his career. For a tight end to walk out in that position to a number one analyst job is you just take the job because these are gold standard. A lot of money, a lot of exposure. It will change your brand. More people are going to talk about Jason Witten now than ever talked about Jason Witten. And he doesn't have anything else on the field to accomplish other than a Super Bowl, and he can't control that. Here's what's really amazing, though. The Dallas Cowboys are so much bigger than every brand in the NFL. They even bigger than the Yankees in baseball, because at least the Yankees, there's the Red Sox brand, which is noteworthy. Here's how much bigger the Cowboys are than everybody else. They've now got the lead analyst on all the networks that do football, except NBC. That's the last one. Now think about that. The other thing this morning is I looked up team values in the NFL. The Cowboys are the most valuable sports franchise in the world at $4.2 billion. By the way, I don't believe they're worth that. I believe they're worth significantly more. I think if you went to Warren Buffett and said, you can have the Dallas Cowboys for $5 billion, I think there's all sorts of Silicon Valley money that would scoop them up for $4.2 billion. They are worth what the market would say, and I believe they're worth way more than $4.2 billion. But here's what's remarkable. The second most valuable NFL team is the New England Patriots. Now, let me ask you, if Tom Brady retired this morning and Belichick followed, would any network be fighting to put the Patriots on television if they were 4-12? Because a couple of years ago, the Cowboys were a dumpster fire. And the following year, the networks were still fighting to get them on television. Their quarterback now is a fourth-round pick, Dak Prescott. He's not even the most known quarterback in his division. Okay, Eli Manning is. Alex Smith is. Carson Wentz is the most talented. Dak, the Cowboys, fourth most gifted quarterback and perhaps known. I mean, the Cowboys are, first of all, Jason Witten's a great dude. When you're a tight end and you're offered the number one job 30 seconds outside of your career, you do it. The Cowboys brand is massive. Number two, according to all these, like Forbes magazine, the Patriots, they could lose one player and they would lose value in their brand. The Cowboys are the number one brand in the world, and they've largely for 15 years been average. It's like the Tiger Woods brand. Tiger Woods doesn't even have to be the best golfer. If he makes the cut, television ratings go up 75%. The new standard for Tiger is, did he make the cut? Yeah. Okay, whew, we're all good. Golf's great again. Here's J-Mac with the news.
No. Herd on the news. This is the Herdline News.
All right, Colin, first up, Houston Rockets. Got a lot of Rockets fans out there. They're very excited, right?
Yes.
And then they choked last night. And
Yeah.
after the game, Mike D'Antoni, they won game one in an easy blowout. Game two, they kind of were lethargic. After the game, Mike D'Antoni tried to explain the loss. This is funny. Listen to this.
We can correct our energy and we can correct the necessary focus that we need to have. And, you get lulled into sleep. You think this stuff's easy. It's not easy. It's the NBA. It's semifinals. It's not easy. And we kind of get lulled into it, and we paid for it.
Okay.
What's he talking about? This is a franchise with Chris Paul, James Harden, Mike D'Antoni, who are known for postseason chokes.
Yeah.
They got embarrassed at home by a team now that's going to go home. And Utah is lights out. They haven't lost at home in over a month.
Is that true?
It's not since March. I'm telling you, Rudy Gobert's defense inside. He blocked 3 shots last night.
Yeah.
Houston doesn't want to drive at him, so they settle for these threes. Colin, I think the Rockets are in trouble. It's going to start to get in their head. Your thoughts? Are they still going to win this series?
I still like them, but I do think they're a math equation. Daryl Morey, they just shoot threes, and when they don't shoot threes, I don't think their defense is elite enough. I don't think their coaching is elite enough to withstand it. I mean, the Warriors' system is so good that Steph Curry leaves. And they go 5-1 in the playoffs.
Colin, let me remind you of something. The Jazz lost all 4 regular season games to the Rockets by double digits. Then they go into Houston and clobber them last night.
This goes to something else.
Yeah, exactly.
One of the things that really is the difference between the regular season and the playoffs is coaching. And in the NFL and in college football, it really matters every week. You're not hiding things.
Right.
But when you watch Boston and Utah, it's really become the same thing. You're taking overwhelmingly. Boston's got young Jason Tatum. Utah's got young Donovan Mitchell. And then it's a series of, I'd say Rudy Gobert is a B player. Al Horford's a B player with more offense than Rudy Gobert. Then it's a bunch of guys in parts. Coaching in the NBA playoffs is so valuable. What Boston's doing and what Utah's doing, the Sixers and the Rockets have more talent. You are seeing world-class coaching make a difference in the pros.
Let's remember, Utah is without its point guard, okay? They don't have their point guard in Houston.
Joe Ingles is undrafted. Derek Favors, after about 2 years, was a bust.
Everybody wants Dwayne Casey from Toronto as Coach of the Year. I wouldn't even have him second. I would go Brad Stevens, followed by Quinn Snyder in Utah, who's been incredible. Yeah. All right, next up. Yes, Colin, you knew we'd get to some Russell Westbrook today. So, Paul George of OKC for now has admitted that playing in California would be, quote, attractive.
He said that again?
That is a shocking development.
He said that. Yes, he already talked about L.A.
It's
been a day.
Colin, here's the dirty secret. His plane ticket's already booked for L.A. I'm telling you, this is done. So here's the fun part. He would be giving up $46 million to leave Utah, right? A 5-year,
leave OKC.
Leave OKC. $176 million if he stays, $130 if he goes. $46 million to get away.
Well, LA's
Russell
also
Westbrook.
got higher tax rates, so he'd lose more than that.
Yeah, even that.
That is, what is the cost of happiness?
I think that's a great question. Look, do you want to play with a selfish point guard in Russell Westbrook or a selfless point guard in Lonzo Ball?
Well, I think I would say this. L.A. right now is unproven, but if I said, what are the Lakers right now? You'd say, oh, they're young, and they're getting better, and they're fun. Everybody likes their coach. Right now, OKC is, nobody's quite sure if Billy Donovan's the right coach. Westbrook can be difficult to play with. They're kind of trapped with Carmelo Anthony's contract. If I could go either way, just take money out of it. The brand of OKC right now is Westbrook's tough, Melo's contract is the abyss, and I'm not sure the coach is right.
They can't get out of the first round of the playoffs.
The Lakers now got rid of Mozgov. Okay, the bad contract's done. You can stretch the Lou Alden contract. So it's like young, love the coach, right players, growing. And, by the way, it's Los Angeles. If you just took the money out, I would absolutely see. There's not even a question he'd be announcing it. Now, the money becomes so generational. That, to me, is the sticking point.
Quick reminder, Russell Westbrook took 43 shots in that Game 6
God, that's
loss.
a lot of games.
All right, we'll wrap up here with, since it's my show here today, obviously, the New York Jets. Come on, Sam Darnold is going to have every opportunity to win the starting job, according to the Jets GM. Colin, I just want to go on record. I would not start Sam Darnold for the first half of the season. He's only 20 years old right now. He's going to be 21 in June.
Yeah.
Start Bridgewater, start McCown. There is no need to rush Sam Darnold. He'll be starting next year. Your thoughts?
Well, something that's underplayed here. Baker Mayfield's like 23.
He turned 23 in April, yeah.
Okay, Sam's 20. We haven't even seen, if Sam would have gone to college, we haven't even seen the best of him as a college player. Baker Mayfield's a significantly older player. When you're 50, the difference between 53 and 50, there is no difference. You got your habits. The difference between a 12-year-old kid and a 15-year-old kid is everything. 23 and 20.
Baker Mayfield was going into these NFL interviews at age 23, confident. You've done a lot. Sam Darnold's a 20-year-old. Okay, that's a big difference. I think the Browns whiffed badly here. I think the Jets, as we both agree, they got the best quarterback in the draft.
All right, Jason McIntyre with the news.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.
The Herd
Colin
Line
here for
News.
GNC. Ignite what's inside you. Building muscle to finding the best multis. Get the highest quality wellness solutions and supplements. Limited time. Buy one, two, get one free. GNC. Live well. Let's bring on my friend Chris Broussard. Yes, NBA analyst, my guy. Former New York Times sports writer. Has a podcast, In the Zone with Chris Broussard. Listen, I was saying this earlier. I got nothing against Carrot Top. Okay, he's a very, very profitable comic. He said, here's a ski mask, here's a toilet seat. Everybody laugh at my joke. But why Jon Stewart or Letterman are kind of legends is the layering. They can do politics. They can do stand-up. I think Stewart could do acting. They could host huge events. You're not going to put Carrot Top at the Oscars, okay? Golden State is so layered. Like Houston, I feel like, threes didn't drop. They get worked at home by Joe Ingles. Like, to me, they are so dependent on the math equation known as the three-point shot, Chris.
I totally agree with you. There's no question about it. I like Houston. I've liked them all year. But it's three or bust, period. I mean, it's ridiculous. And here's the thing that people do not understand. Even smart, intelligent NBA people do not understand or highlight about the Golden State Warriors. They're not all about the three.
They're not.
We know their defense gets overlooked, but everybody acknowledges it's great defense.
We know their coach is outstanding.
Coach is outstanding. But look at their offense. It's player movement. They get a ton of backdoor layups. They get guys cutting to the basket all the time. Do you know that they are 17th in the NBA in three-pointers attempted?
Time out. Can we have breaking news for that?
Really,
That
right?
is, I did not know that.
I thought it was about fifth, but I went to research. So if it's wrong, I'm blaming research. They said 17th in the NBA in three-pointers per game this season. Now, they're first in percentage.
Breaking news.
They're first in percentage, but that should be news to Daryl Morey and Cleveland. Cleveland just said, we're going to be like Golden State. Let's just shoot threes.
That's all they do.
It's either LeBron or a three. I mean, come on, it's ridiculous. So people need to learn it's not just the three with Golden State. And they are the best three-point shooting team ever. They got the best backcourt ever, particularly best backcourt shooting the ball.
Yeah.
And they don't just live and die by the three.
Yeah, listen, it's like Matt Damon. I said this earlier. If you take the action out of most action stars, Vin Diesel, pretty marginal actor. Matt Damon's done action, Jason Bourne. He's done Good Will Hunting. You put him on Mars, he can make that movie too. Matt Damon's a real actor. He can do a variety of things, and that's the difference between Matt Damon. By the way, Vin Diesel's a star too. You take out the action of Vin Diesel, I don't get Shakespeare. All right, I'm going to make a prediction. I don't bet the NBA. I even almost made a huge bet in our morning meeting this morning. But let's not get into it.
Huh? We'll get into that
Let's
later.
not get into it.
That's
I can
happening.
coach you into things like that.
That's happening.
Okay, Toronto is my NBA playoff lock of the year tonight. First of all, I always look at Vegas. Vegas made the line like 7.5. LeBron's not a 7.5 point dog to Toronto much. We also know with Cleveland, they have been very good, Chris, in the games they have to win. They've laid some eggs this year. Indiana, they laid a couple of eggs. I think Toronto walks tonight.
Yeah, I'm not as confident as you are in the Raptors winning this, but Cleveland gets complacent. In the midst of series, heck, in the midst of games. When they get up big, they tend to relax.
They do.
Take their foot off the gas. And they just coast, and then next thing you know, it's a 2-point game, and they got to play hard again. So, yeah, I could see them going out there. We did what we need to do. We got our one. And LeBron, I don't know that he'll allow them to cut his minutes. But if I were Ty Lue, I would think seriously, like, let me keep LeBron around 35 to 38.
See, I agree with you.
He was gassed in game one.
Listen, do you know, again, this may be crazy. They told me this morning, the Cavs, LeBron's won 28 of 29 at home against Toronto. Okay, it's official. They're in Toronto's head in Cleveland. I think the agenda was set. You know, it's just like one of those things. That game one, Toronto literally went to bed and they're like, has real self-doubt. Now, I think Toronto's going to play tonight like it's the last game in the history of the franchise. I think you're going to get one of their great games of the year. I don't think it'll translate to a series win. Okay, so Charles Barkley did an apology, non-apology. Can I play the tape of Charles Barkley? So Draymond Green goes out and he gets all feisty, and Charles Barkley comes out and he says, man, I like to punch him in the face. And everybody on the set laughed. I laughed. Didn't bother me at all. And then Charles apparently, you know, advertising pressure, NBA pressure. Charles said this last night.
I apologize to Draymond Green. I meant what I said. I meant what I said.
Said that twice.
But I would never punch an NBA player. I got guys who are mentors to me, Derek Stafford, Jason Whitlock, and Mike Wilbon. They're my mentors and big brothers. I appreciate them reaching out to me. You know what? My personal opinion should never come across in a comment I make about a team or a player. It did last night, but what I said was wrong, and I apologize.
But he did say, I meant what I said.
Yeah.
First of all, it's probably the only reason I watch Barkley. I don't watch because of his prep. I don't watch because he's slick. I don't watch because, you know, I mean,
half the time you wonder if he's
watching the games,
watching Law and Order.
But why I watch him is he's the only guy on TV that is not edited. And last night he had to be edited, which I don't like. What did you make of it?
Well, first of all, I'm praying for him that he has Jason Whitlock as a mentor. No, you know Whitlock's our man. But why did he even apologize? Or whatever that was? Because I'm with you. I don't know that it's an apology if I say I meant what I said.
It's not an apology.
Right?
That's what I said to the team this morning. We were doing this, and I said, if I say something really awful, and then I come out and I say, I meant what I said, but I apologize. What you're saying is you're not apologizing.
Yeah.
What he's saying is it offended many of you, so I'm going to offer this. But in the end, I think nobody watched that and was outraged, except maybe Draymond's mother, which I understand.
Look, like you, when I saw it, I thought it was funny. I was actually waiting for him I wanted him to explain why he felt that way.
Right.
Why do you want to hit Draymond? You know, but I just felt he went too far. I mean, I wasn't totally offended or you just
wouldn't have said it.
I just felt like, you know, whenever you talk about violence,
yeah.
But again, you come on there and you say I meant what, so you really do want to hit Draymond. That's still what's saying.
That's what 90% of the guys in the bars are saying. That's what half the guys in the leagues are saying. Steven Adams, by the way, wants to punch Draymond in the face. Anybody that has Draymond guarding him feels the same way, and I love Draymond Green. So, okay, I got to throw this out. Now, listen, will you at least acknowledge, Chris Broussard, that some of my criticisms of Westbrook appear to be
not a one.
Not one is accurate.
No, look. Okay, the Paul George, you're saying he's leaving $46 million on the table to get away from Westbrook.
Well, why would
he was going to leave that much on the table in Indiana? He would leave that much on the table wherever he was. He just wants to be in L.A. or Philly, or I think you should look at Philly, but he wants to be in L.A. So it has nothing to do with Westbrook. Now, I'll grant you, Westbrook can be difficult to play with.
Well, really? Well, when did you come to that? That's a stretch.
He can be difficult to play with, but give him his props. He's a superstar. He's an icon.
Let me throw this at you.
He's going to be
a ball hog.
A legend.
So let me throw this at you. Okay. Oklahoma City, led by Westbrook. I want everybody to digest this slowly. Has lost 8 of 11 playoff games in the Westbrook first era. Now, this is not Kevin Durant here. Last year it was all Westbrook. This year it was mostly Westbrook. They have lost 8 of 11 playoff games, not in the finals. This ain't LeBron.
Why is Westbrook getting all the blame?
Well, because the last 2 years,
Paul George, who's about to get a max deal, scoring 5 points. 5.
He was great in Game 5.
5 in Game 7. Not 12. Not 15. 5.
By the way,
when's the last time a superstar scored 5 points?
In the last 2 years, This is a team that has lost 8 of 11, 3 by blowouts, to first-round teams. This isn't Boston losing in the conference finals or LeBron. They're getting rolled by Utah and the Houston team without Chris Paul.
Well, this series, they were outcoached.
Yeah, well,
Quinn Snyder outcoached Billy Donovan. Whenever I have less talent and you have more talent and I beat you
soundly,
I outcoached you. And that's speaking to the Rockets. Mike D'Antoni, who I like as a coach, he's outcoached in the playoffs because he doesn't adjust. Like you said, they do what they do.
You know what he is? I've compared him to Chip Kelly. Chip has a system. He ain't moving off the system.
No.
Okay, where Brad Stevens doesn't necessarily have a system. Belichick doesn't have a. Belichick coaches week to week.
And Popovich the same way. He'll adjust to his talent.
Where D'Antoni and Chip Kelly have a great system. They ain't moving off it.
No.
And I think that you can do. Systems are great in the regular season in college football. They're great. But when you get to the playoffs where you're facing great coaches and great players, systems have to be adjusted. And I don't think D'Antoni and Chip Kelly, for bowl games or the playoffs, they're not adjusters.
You're absolutely
But they do
right.
deserve credit for having a great system.
No, you're absolutely right. In the playoffs, it's all about adjust. It's about matchups and adjustments. That's what, and obviously talent. But in this case, Houston has superior talent. So what's the problem? Quinn Snyder will adjust and adapt and make changes and throw tweaks here and there. D'Antoni won't. And that's why this could really end up being a really good series.
Chris Broussard, good seeing you, bud. If you ever shower or brush your teeth or try to make your hair look presentable, we got good news for you. Dollar Shave Club does everything now. By the way, coming around the corner, a Des Bryant story that is not hard to believe, but boy, it should scare other wide receivers. Dollar Shave Club, yep, that Dollar Shave Club, now delivers everything you need in the bathroom. Look, feel, smell your best. Shampoo, Dollar Shave Club has it. Body wash, I use it. Dollar Shave Club has it. Toothpaste, hair gel, conditioner, I use it. Even a wipe that'll leave your, you-know-what, feeling tingly clean. They're called, well, you know what they're called. All of Dollar Shave Club's products, top shelf ingredients. Great way to start, $5. $5 will get you in the door. It's called their Essential Starter Set. Check it out. You get the razor, you get the body cleanser, shave butter, DollarShaveClub.com/Colin. Check it out, DollarShaveClub.com/COLIN. Keep the blades coming for a few bucks a month after the $5 test.